the sneakers. This subject fascinates so many people. My mother, and it isn't what I was going to talk about, but in the fall, oh, something was just going horribly wrong. And it's all good again now, but she started walking with me because I finally was back to pretty good health. My hand was better, and I'd drop Emma off at school and go and get my mother and take her to the park, and we'd have picnics and play a game. I tried to set up a little bit of an activity schedule for her, and then we'd go for a good brisk walk along the pathways. And somewhere along the way, a couple of years ago, last year or the year before, I had asked, Chris took us in, my mother and I, because I wanted to get her a pair of really good running room sneakers, well, they weren't running room, they were from one of the other running places in there, for her birthday. And the pair that fit her, one of the people who worked at the store helped fit her for a pair of sneakers. Oh, they were a beautiful pair, really snappy looking and young looking, and it just suited her because her family all were quite good runners. They run around on the farm and whatnot, and they had the fluorescent green, and I hadn't had running room sneakers for years. Chris got me a pair first when the running craze started, and I just nurtured them for since I had gotten that pair. But I thought that would be a good gift for her birthday because she was walking long distances on her own at the time, and at that age, especially it's important to keep yourself well equipped and keep your feet in good shape. But in the fall, somehow, and that's the only thing she can think of, either we left the sneakers somewhere when we were walking, but she lost 2 pairs. They had to have ended up in her recycling, or something happened and they were taken. But she lost 2 pairs, so she has my sneakers now, which are still in fine form. And soon we'll be wearing boots anyway for the winter. And I'm wearing a pair of sneakers that Chris doesn't use anymore. And the reason he doesn't use them, and he's got a couple of pairs, so I just started putting them away because he said, the really cool thing that people do who are in the running room is after a race they just throw out their clothes for, the homeless, which I'm near homeless now anyway, so I deserve them as much as anyone else. But I never get back those clothes because he throws them aside. And it's not that I don't want the homeless to have them. They certainly need them. It's just I wonder how many people who throw away clothes at the running room with their big head, that seems to come from, we'll never have any money problem. Those people, you stand out and talk to them and you're fighting to squeeze together 2 pennies to pay for the electricity and running around turning off lights that get left on by, the hoo-wah. And they just stand there and tell you, oh yeah, no, money's not a problem. Like, how do people, some of them don't even work, right? How do people do that? So in any case, there's a lot of that running over people who have taken up the addiction of running, and encouraging them to all walk around like they are multimillionaires and throw away their clothes. And it's good for somebody, but usually that clothes, and 2 months down the road when they're looking for a pair of sweatpants to put on, and they don't even have a pair because every year they buy a pair of sweatpants, but they throw them away. These sneakers. The rule of thumb is to wear sneakers for 100 runs and then to donate them or throw them out. So when I can, I've donated a few pairs with our clothes when I donate the clothes that I can't repurpose or isn't worn out enough or precious enough or sentimental enough to cut up and put in a quilt. I donate clothes to the donation box, around September for children going to school, and sneakers are good for children who have no one to buy them sneakers, be there money or be there not money. But sometimes you just hit a point where you can't do it anymore. And especially after my mother had her trouble with all of her sneakers disappearing at one time, I decided that I had been wearing a pair of Chris's sneakers just because they just flop around on my feet. There's no way to find my feet kind of thing. It's just comfortable sometimes, and I'm at that stage right now, trying to keep ourselves going here. And so I thought, I'm going to have to start putting them away, because if he's only going to wear them for 100 runs and throw them out and then order a pair and them not be in Canada, you can't get them in Canada anymore, so you have to get in the car and drive down across the border and have them delivered to one of these outlets on the other side of the border, and pick them up at the outlet and drive back across the border again. It's just as well to keep them and wear them loose on my feet, or in the winter put some extra wool socks in them and turn them into mini boots, because I've never understood or run, because we had all been told that if you run too much you'll hurt your knees, and my knees, I'll need my knees if I'm going to be here 100 years. That's just a waste to give that away after 100 runs. Personal opinion.